The other day I was watching another Iron Sight partner, Insane Shots. I'll leave a link to his Twitch down below. He's a really cool dude. Make sure you guys stop by and check him out. He wasn't playing Iron Sight though, he was playing this, Dauntless. We got to talking about the game and it sounded like a lot of fun, so I decided to pick it up for myself and give it a try. Let's get into this review and see what this behemoth slaying game is all about. Hey guys, Teiwaz here with another game review. In this episode we're going to be looking at Dauntless, a free-to-play action RPG slash Monster Hunter-esque game set in a world being torn apart by the Maelstrom. Behemoths run rampant, and few settlements dot the floating island's landscapes. Ramsgate being the biggest one and where you start your adventure. If you've played RPGs before, you'll be familiar with Ramsgate right off the bat. Katerin, Sorrel, is your mentor and one of the people you'll be receiving a lot of your quests from. Next to her is Marcus Bohr, the apothecary. During your slaying missions, or hunts, you'll encounter plants and other resources which you'll later use to create potions and even grenades. Speaking of grenades, a little further up the road is a man named Jonik Zai. He's who makes your grenades. With Omnistone and Wrathwort, two ingredients you find on your travels, he'll be able to make you all kinds of different grenades, after you complete the corresponding quests of course. After running southwest in Ramsgate a little bit, you'll encounter the smithy, Will's Borman. Here is where you'll create your weaponry, first starting with the three classes, the sword, the hammer, and the twin chain blades. After you level up your weapon master skill, you will unlock different classes, the axe and the spear, and more coming in later updates. I think they're going to be coming out with the gun soon, a ranged weapon, like a revolver of some kind or something. But yeah, it'll be coming shortly. Directly south of the smithy, you'll find Moyra Heigsketter, the armor smith. Moyra is your go-to person for armament in the fight against the behemoths. Certain behemoths have elemental qualities that you can protect yourself against to give yourself an advantage when you're taking them on. Each behemoth has its own weapon and armor set, so choose your elements carefully or you'll end up aimlessly grinding. Next to Moyra is Arkan Drew, our aethersmith. Arkan creates lanterns out of various behemoth parts. Lanterns are basically different special abilities. Some increase your movement speed and can create a giant fireball that will explode, while others make your attacks cost less stamina and can create an aura around yourself that buffs the entire team. There's all kinds of random stuff. Whichever you choose depends on you and your playstyle. Alright, let's talk about the behemoths for a little bit. Like I mentioned earlier, each behemoth has its own element, but they also have their own looks and attacks. On top of the elements, some are neutral, meaning they really don't have a weakness or a strength. However, they do still get their own armor and weapon sets, along with lanterns and other things that you can use to boost your characters. Just a quick announcement here. Some of you guys have mentioned that we have reached the 300 subscriber mark, and with that, I thought that was a pretty good number to open up the Discord. So there's a link down below if you guys would like to join the Discord. It's pretty much just like a gamer hub where you guys could get together and game together. You guys could find yourselves teams for Iron Sight or PUBG or whatever you guys want to play and get together and do it. So with that being said, the link will be down below. Make sure you guys check it out, and if you want to join up. So for the review portion, I've come up with a scoring system. 5 categories worth 10 points each, totaling 50 points. We'll average out our total score and get a final grade for the game. The 5 categories are story, visuals, sound, gameplay, and replay value. So let's get into the grading portion of this video and see what kind of a score Dauntless will get. For story, Dauntless has a story, but it's pretty vague and mostly quest driven. The website has quite a bit of lore, but if you're not willing to scour the site and read page after page, you won't actually know a lot of the fictional story that goes on in Dauntless. You'll learn a bit of what's happening during the introductory video, and as you progress through the quests you learn a bit more, but I think Phoenix Labs could have done a bit better of a job integrating all the lore into the game itself. For the story, I give Dauntless a 5 out of 10 points. For visuals, it's our next category. Dauntless has a cartoony art style similar to Fortnite. The environment and the behemoths are incredibly detailed and they look amazing for a free game. The game is pretty good in terms of frames per second, where the occasional skips during the really intense parts, but other than that it ran pretty smooth. In the visual category, I give Dauntless 8 out of 10 points. For sound is the next category we're going to be going into here. The sound, it delivers an epic soundtrack and incredibly, the sound effects are great. The behemoth sounds are awesome. They have their own noises and they really sound cool. The battle music is really intense when you're in a fight, and you really get the feeling of being in a life and death struggle the entire time. It's pretty awesome, man. The natural environment sounds are great, and the game just feels alive and vibrant. So for sound, I'm also going to give Dauntless an 8 out of 10 points. Gameplay is our next category for grading, and Dauntless features a third-person combat style where you use different mouse patterns, like the click patterns, for your attacks. There are different weapons, each with their own unique attacks and click patterns. The hammers are better for staggering, where swords are better for chopping off break parts. And you need a good balanced team in order to get everything done and get everything you need. Each weapon has a limited number of attacks they can perform, and because of that, it can make combat a bit repetitive after a while. After you've played it for a few days, it kind of gets to be repetitive. But they are adding new stuff to the game all the time, with plans to add new ranged gun weapons pretty soon, which could help freshen things up a bit, so you can get a ranged weapon and just sit back and shoot a little bit. As of the current game build, I am going to give Dauntless a 7 out of 10 for gameplay. And finally, our last category is replay value. The next category we're going to look into is the replay value. After you've completed a certain armor and armor set, there really isn't a reason to go back and kill the behemoth again. The higher tier behemoths are harder to kill and require you to do some more farming in order to get the right break parts that you need. Because they're just random loot, so you need to sometimes get some rare drops, so you got to kill it a whole bunch of times in order to get those rare drops. But after you've gotten the entire set and everything is leveled up and you're maxed out, you really don't need to kill it again. If they added random loot drops to the behemoths, I think that could help a lot in getting people to replay the earlier islands and kill some of the earlier monsters. But yeah, with that being said, I give Dauntless a 6 out of 10 for replay value. So for a score, Dauntless receives 34 out of 50 points, meaning they get a 6.8 out of 10 for their final score. So 6.8 out of 10 ain't that bad. I'll leave a link to this game down in the description below if you guys want to check it out. It is free, so you guys don't have to pay anything for it, and it's worth a try at the very least. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, remember to smack that thumbs up button and subscribe for more content just like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Later.